guys, it's Katie from Without a Crystal Ball. Welcome back to my channel. We've got an update on Kanye West and Kim Kardashian. So it's been a pretty busy week with Kanye being busy on Twitter, although things have seemingly calmed down. He had a few nights where he had some Twitter rants where he actually talked about how he had been trying to divorce Kim for quite some time, actually since 2018. He brought up a whole lot of things. He went after Kris Jenner for putting out a tape related to Kim Kardashian, photographs of Kim in a magazine, and talking about how he would hope that North's mother would not do that to her in the future. He also made those statements about Northwest at a rally in South Carolina on a presidential bid, which he was unsuccessful getting on the ballot there. So a lot of this has resulted in people being concerned about his well-being, and Kim came out with a statement basically saying that he needs help and that she is called him a brilliant but complicated man, and that she hopes that he will get help. And at this point, there's nothing that she can do to help him because he's refusing it. So on Twitter yesterday, he actually posted a photo of his team. So apparently a bunch of his team showed up in Wyoming the other day, yesterday. They arrived with a group to try to help him to get help. So I guess his team is all pretty concerned about him, but they did bring a doctor on Monday who basically said that he was stable and there wasn't really anything that they could do. They can't put him in treatment. They can't make him go to the doctor. He was assessed. He was fine. There was nothing more that they could say or do. So now he has his team there. He's working on an album. He's in Cody, Wyoming. And Kim is back in Los Angeles. So Kim didn't actually discuss whether or not, she was planning to stand by him. She didn't really respond to any of the rumors regarding if this discussions about divorce were real, because Kanye brought it up a lot. Like, he brought up at the rally, like, I don't care if my wife divorces me over this. And then on Twitter, he says, I've been trying to divorce Kim for a long time. He's talking about how, it was just so incongruent, disconnected. It just felt very like, is there something to this? And some people were saying that, like, some of the things that he was saying about Kris Jenner, while maybe not in his necessarily right mind, had bared some weight because, she did put out that tape. She did put her daughter in that magazine. And she has basically, like, used her children for fame and essentially, like, brokered them out for money. So, maybe Kanye doesn't want that part of his life anymore. I don't know. But so what I started doing was I wanted to do some reading and just see, like, what is the status of this relationship? Where are things with their relationship at this time? And apparently it's kind of mixed. Like, some outlets are saying one thing and others are saying another. Like, some, like Entertainment Tonight, are saying Kim is going to stand by his side. But two outlets that have direct connections to them, which typically are relatively accurate when it comes to this family, I would say they're both saying divorce. So People Magazine. Now, People Magazine, I would say, tends to be more of a celebrity kind of place where celebs can get their photos. Kim's wedding was in People Magazine. It's a more credible magazine in terms of covering, like, topics related to celebrities, trending topics, that kind of stuff. And so when People Magazine puts something out that says that they're talking about a divorce, you kind of have to, like, be like, whoa, is there some truth to this? Because there is that ongoing relationship with the family, and they typically don't put things out that are inaccurate like this. So apparently People has spoken to several people connected to the family, and they say that there has been enough communication. So this is a quote from a source that they spoke to, and they said, quote, "There has been enough communication both in the past few days and the weeks prior to establish that both parties feel this marriage is over." So apparently they were having a lot of issues leading up to what happened with him, like, going off and going into the presidential bid. Like, they were having issues way before that. And I guess they had been talking about divorce for quite some time leading up to him deciding to run for president. And now it's like they're at a point now where they're trying to figure out what to do, according to the sources that People spoke to. So this is what the other source said, that this is a long time coming, and that they were attempting to figure out the most amicable way and loving way to co-parent the situation. And then, one of the things that Kanye said on his rant was that he didn't care if he didn't see his kids until they were 18. He didn't want them to be exploited and, being used on internet, on television. He was it seemed like had been a split of some sort when he was talking. And then they say that this is what the source says, but now Kanye he has gone down a different path, both in terms of deciding to announce his presidential bid and also in terms of how he's choosing to express himself and the things he's choosing to say. So he has been going after Kim. He's been going after Kris Jenner. He has been speaking openly about the fact that he doesn't agree with them being on TV. He doesn't agree with the things that Kris Jenner has done. And the source went on to say they have work to do as parents and as spouses who want to end this phase of their relationship. Kanye knows all of this, and everything that is happening right now is just like a horrible sideshow to what the real issues are. And they continued that first and foremost, he has some needs that need to be met urgently, and then they need to move forward in terms of structuring a split that can be amicable and healthy for both of them and all their children. So I guess they've been trying to work through this and talk through this, according to people. And, could anyone really, if this is all true, would anyone actually be surprised that they're going to get split up, that they're going to split up? I think first and foremost, they have always, to me at least, seemed like an odd match. She seems to be very, she loves selfies, but she also seems to be very logical in a sense, driven, almost very even. She's not a partier. She's never been a partier. She's very a homebody. Kanye's sort of all over the place. He's always been all over the place. He has that very rapper lifestyle, that musician lifestyle. He's very unpredictable. They've always seemed to have different ideas about what they want for life, where they want to go with their lives. I never really understood this match. This match actually came pretty quickly after she had her marriage with Chris Humphries that sort of abruptly ended, where they got married and engaged very quickly, and then she divorced him within 70 some days, and then she's suddenly dating Kanye, and then they have North very quickly after that. And the whole relationship seemed to start very fast, and then they didn't get married right away. I don't think they got married again until 2014. This was her third husband. So I think there's been probably some suggestion that, she wants to make sure this marriage works. And then there was all these issues as you look back into his their marriage. They get married and then he's puts on probation for an assault on paparazzi. He ends up getting committed in 2016. There's stuff that happens in 2018. There's stuff that happens in 2020. It's there's never been a time in their marriage that Kanye hasn't done something that's been either kind of off the wall in terms of him not taking care of himself, or there has been violence, or there has been just him making very impulsive decisions and then making statements and then getting, stopping his tour, going on to TMZ Live, opening up a presidential bid. It would just be a lot for anyone. But then they've also, when I was looking at this, added 4 children in a very short period of time. So they have 4 children, and North is the oldest at 7. And 2 of their children are 2 and 14 months. So they've added 4 children relatively quickly, and they are also in a marriage or a relationship that's incredibly rocky because of Kanye's instability and maybe just incompatible lifestyles. How do you even manage that kind of stress on a practical level? Really, if you think about it, any person would break in that kind of situation. 4 kids, a husband that's dealing with mental health issues, living your entire marriage on reality television. You are constantly under the lights. She struggled with fertility issues. He's struggling with his health. It just seems like so much for one couple. So could some of this could this manic episode have been an onset from stress? I don't really know. I think the biggest thing they're saying about right now for Kim is that the breaking point was him going and talking about North and then going after them. And that's when she knew it was supposedly over. So they said the quote from people is she's furious and that he shared something so private. She loves her kids tremendously and wants to protect them. Her favorite thing in the world is being a mom, and that she was shocked that Kanye spoke about North that way. Now, in her statement yesterday, she did ask for compassion and she did ask for a lot of different, things from people. She wanted people to be kind and understanding, and she was really thoughtful, and how his statements now don't match his, who he is. But apparently he's literally in Wyoming, according to people, because he doesn't want to be in Los Angeles. He doesn't want to get help. He doesn't want to be with Kim. He doesn't want Kim there. So I don't know, man. This seems messy. And the fact that she's not there and he is there, it kind of feels like this marriage has to be over. Because if if you're in a position where your husband is in a position where he needs help and he doesn't want help, and you're not there and he doesn't want you there, the marriage can't be in a very good place right now. It can't. And there was all these articles leading up to this that were suggesting that they were staying on separate ends of their houses. They were not getting along. In May and June, there was talks about them splitting. So I guess in a way we shouldn't be surprised that this is where they're at. And then Us Weekly, debatably, says that they could, that Kim was meeting with divorce lawyers yesterday and sort of talking through what that would all look like, and hasn't made the decision yet to file, but that it could be coming. So a divorce is very probable, maybe, sort of, kind of. Obviously, with this kind of stuff, you're not going to hear about it until the actual filing happens. And there's so much, they have so many entanglements, in this with, work, the show, his album. And then some of you guys were like, did he do this all for publicity because he has an album coming out? I doubt that. I doubt it. So part of me is like, okay, he might be having this episode, but then they probably are under a lot of stress. So even though he was manic and saying things that maybe he didn't mean, maybe they were things that he meant, but he didn't want to, he would have never said otherwise. You know what I mean? Like, how when you are feeling a certain way and you just can't bite your tongue anymore, could it have been something like that? I don't know. So tell me what your thoughts are. Are they going to get divorced? Are they not going to get divorced? What do you think will happen? All right, you guys.